And what's going on, everyone? Welcome in to the puppy edition of the
Woohoo!
Zen Frenz podcast. You guys now get to meet your favorite friends out there, Sukiyaki Shiba from
Hi.
Instagram, and we also have Yoshi, the Zen dog.
The
Yoshi,
man himself, the
are you,
legend.
are you ready to get going here? I mean, we got some facts to spit out. We got some stories to tell today. There's a lot of stuff going on in the pet world here. He's like, yeah,
Heck yeah.
Alex, that's great, but I was just taking a nap. I will get up for food though. Anytime food is going on, I will jump right up off the couch. But in between then, I just want to chill. We already threw the ball today.
Oh yeah, you already had a good play session.
Oh yeah, yeah. In the morning, he loves this little dog park by us. We go out and my biggest thing is I just want you to go number one and number two.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That's
just do
that's
your
that's
business.
do your business. Then mentally I feel refreshed because you've got that out the way. But as soon as we get in the dog park, he looks at me like, "Where is it?" And some
Oh,
some days I have to go, "I don't have it."
oh
But
no.
now today I got it. He's got his tennis ball. I also bring like a little hand towel with me, because there's a lot of slobber
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there. So I kind of wipe my hand off in between throws.
yeah.
And yeah, I've got this little wrist thing going on now. I've been playing so much tennis that my wrist is hurting.
Oh
So now I'm
no.
throwing it lefty. He got some lefty throws today.
And how good are you, or how ambidextrous are you? Because I'm not very.
So I write lefty and I throw righty,
Oh
but
my God.
yeah, so today the right wrist was not in play for Yoshi. It was
Oh,
yeah, the
yo.
left wrist was.
Oh, look at him.
Huey,
Dad's
Huey.
compromised.
Okay. Wow. So what's going on, Siki? How is she doing over there in Wisconsin world?
Little Sookie, she had acupuncture yesterday and she was such a
Oh,
good
very
girl.
nice.
She has a personal, of course, acupuncturist that comes to her. She comes and visits her in her home, Dr. Sarah, and she sits on the couch and she gets fed liver treats to stay
Hmm.
still while the needles are in for about 20 minutes. And her uh, back has like a little bit of a curvature to it sometimes. And
Hmm.
after that treatment, her back is nice and straight and she's walking better. It's just really great for her mobility as a senior. So she was feeling really good last night because of the treatment. So she grabbed her toys and we were playing. She's right up to the microphone. Do you have something to
Yeah.
say?
She says, I just want to bless all of you with my presence today. I
Yeah.
I know I'm pretty amazing, and you all know that, but I just came to reaffirm all of the
Yes.
celebrations that you can give me.
And she says Happy Lunar New Year to everyone who celebrates
That's right.
and showing her little fluffy cheeks. Pinch the
Ah,
cheeks
she's
for
so
good luck.
cute. Amazing. So, Erica, we are going to get into New Year today. I have that teed
Great.
up. I have that ready to go. Something that's
Awesome.
really cool. We don't celebrate necessarily here in the States, but for me and my experience, all I know is manufacturers do not work when it comes to Lunar New
Oh,
Year.
yes,
They cannot be bothered. They
that's right.
actually will tell you no, no, like we're
Yeah,
not doing any business. We're
that
not
happened to me this
shipping. We're
time.
not doing anything. Like we're out of business. So you got to get ahead of the
Sorry, folks,
curve.
she's done.
All
So she's
right.
gonna say goodbye for now.
Bye,
Goodbye,
Sookie.
everybody.
Your coat looks amazing. It's perfect for that snow outside.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what? So what? So
But
I
yeah,
was
what you were saying about the
no. They
manufacturers,
just
yeah.
they don't work. It's like a
Yeah.
total. So if you're gonna order supplies from overseas, like China,
Yeah.
they even warn you. They're like, you better get your orders in, before because we're gonna be taken off for 2 weeks or however long it is. And that's one thing I know is like, all right, Lunar New Year, we got to get ahead of the curve here. So.
I didn't know that, and I ran into something this year with that, where I was talking to an affiliate, and she said, "Oh, I would get that information for you, but it's going to be a little bit because of Lunar New Year. They go all out, and they are
Mhm.
just not working. It's just not
Nope.
happening.
Nope.
They're out of communication, and
Nope.
it's so funny because that's so not true the whole rest of the year. It's like they're so on top of things. I feel
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, uh-oh, I can't like take a second to get back to them. They're like, what's your answer? But,
Right.
you know, but during this period, it's
No.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Yeah, I guess I won't talk to you for 2 weeks, okay? But I hope
Yeah.
you have a great holiday, all right? And then you'll come back to being on my ass every day after this.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel.
Um, so yeah, so I mean, we work on some products like lick mats. Made sure to get those, way in advance from overseas. Bandanas. We work with great
Mm.
suppliers from overseas as well, and a lot of the packaging that we work on for products like the Zen Bites and the Zen Butters. I have some awesome suppliers that I work with on WhatsApp. Real, people that I've met through Alibaba from, way
Oh,
afar.
wow. Yeah.
But yeah, we still have relationships to this day, and I wish them a happy Lunar New Year. Our graphics team worked on a graphic this week for a happy Lunar New Year, which I was really happy to see. And one of our team members, she celebrates Lunar New Year with her family. She had worked on that graphic, and she was telling me about the meals, and I was like, what's
Mm.
that orange on top of Zen Dog's head? What's the significance of that? And she was mentioning that, in that culture, it's nice to give an offering. Maybe it's an offering to the
Oh,
gods. I'm not sure, how they look at that, but that was the significance of that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I really
is
enjoy
it so it's like
history.
a little persimmon or something on the top of Yoshi? I'm looking at
Yeah,
Instagram here,
yeah,
the graphic. That's so cute.
yeah.
I love
So
how he's in his little Zen Buddha pose.
come on now. It's the year of the horse. Let's go.
Yeah, you're the horse.
So, Erica, before we get on to Lunar New Year here, I
Sure.
wanted to know, when did acupuncture start for Suki? Because I've done it myself, especially as an athlete. I actually
Mm.
had a chronic back issue that came on for me back in, I want to say like 2017. I started getting sharp back pains and leg fatigue from my time in professional paintball. But acupuncture and
I'm sorry.
also
Did you say professional paintball?
professional paintball, that was my past life before Zen Frenz.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that's right.
Whoa.
Yeah. So if you
Whenever
type,
you said professional athlete, that's not what I was picturing. I'm
no,
just, that's amazing.
yeah.
That's
So I
so
mean,
cool.
for all of our listeners out there, if you go to YouTube and you type in Alex Gray, Gray paintball, you'll see some viral clips that'll come up. But I used to play for a team known as Seattle Uprising. We used to travel around the world competing at the top
Wow.
level, and that was the sport I came across back in 2006. Nothing but great things to say about it. Awesome experience before I got into the corporate world and the working world after college. But when I was having this back fatigue, no doctor could explain it. They couldn't explain the leg fatigue, and they couldn't explain, how this tightness was happening in my back. I think, maybe it could have come from overuse all the years just running, diving, crawling, running, diving,
Mm.
crawling. But physical therapy, that was one route I was looking into. Chiropractic work, that was another route I was looking
Hmm.
into, and also, acupuncture as well too. And I find it very fascinating that everywhere you go, they seem to have all the answers, and they have
Ah,
the right answers, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Their way of doing things is the way that you should be, kind of pursuing. So
Right.
I do
I mean,
have some
they
experience
all
with
have their
it.
own philosophy and yeah.
That's right. Yeah, the Eastern medicine, the Western medicine, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But what about you? Any experience with acupuncture, or when did you start trying acupuncture for Suki? Because Yoshi has never had
Oh
needles
my
in him,
goodness.
but that would be really neat.
It would be. I'd be so curious to know how how he would tolerate it. Um, so for us, our Suki's predecessor, Gabby, she lived to be 17, so we had many senior years to, take care of her. And we back legs have been back legs
Mm,
mobility, they do a lot of bending to they kind of squat to go to the bathroom and especially the girls. And so her legs were just getting really weak. And so at that time, I had done some acupuncture myself,
mhm,
and we researched, what are some different treatments. I think our vet at the time, it was out in Massachusetts in Plymouth, and our vet at the time did it herself. And so she said, do you want to try an acupuncture treatment? And as a senior dog, she was relaxed and calm enough at that point that I wasn't worried. Like, she's not going to just lay still for you for 20 minutes or, well,
mm,
whatever it was. So luckily we had that on our side. It worked for us. And her mobility was so improved, I couldn't even believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we didn't do that necessarily through Suki's, you know, I didn't want to say healthy years. She's still very healthy, but
Hmm.
her prime.
Hmm.
But when she started to experience some mobility issues, we thought of that as one of the ways to tackle it. Um, and it turns out, so we've taken her to the same vet clinic here in Madison, Wisconsin, her whole entire life. She's had a few vets over the years, but the same clinic.
Hmm.
And her first vet was Dr. Sarah, who left to pursue education and then a career in holistic veterinary care.
Hmm.
So she has a company here in Madison now, and they do acupuncture, cold laser therapy, herbal supplements.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah, great, 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 great.
Totally in our realm.
Yes, and she was always uh, she she was such a great vet. She was Suki's vet from puppy to 7 years old. So those were some great formative years that she helped us, take care of our baby.
Hmm.
And so now she's back as our acupuncturist. And Suki's reaction to seeing her was happy, and then, oh wait, you give me
From the
shots.
needles. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She was like, no. So it took a couple of sessions for her to understand, like, she's not going to get a blood draw. She's not going to
Right,
get,
right,
these
right.
needles are different. But now this past treatment, she was able to do more with Suki. She did some chiropractic adjustments, and
Mm.
she did something she called a rib shake. And it was like this little do do it. Chiropractic adjustments are so funny to me because they look
Yeah.
like nothing, right? Like it's like tap tap. Okay, now your spine is aligned.
Right. Okay, so you say nothing, but I've been on a table before and they
Oh,
literally
the
take my
crack.
head
Oh,
and go
oh.
like that and go like that. And I'm like, how did you not just kill
Okay, you're
me?
right. Either they're nothing or they're crazy extreme, and you're like,
Right, right.
wow, you twisted my neck almost completely. I'm my
Yeah.
life is in your hands. The noises.
I've seen videos of those of dogs on Instagram too, where there's a chiropractor that literally will take like a pit bull and just and then
Oh, wow.
and
Oh,
then
I
the
have to look
dog
that
is like
up.
real relaxed afterwards. But it's some interesting stuff for sure.
It is. She did like a sacral adjustment and then that rib shake thing. And but she did it after she had applied the needles and taken them out. So I think that was kind of like she did cold laser first, and then she did some needles, and then she did a couple adjustments. And she said, Suki, let me do more today than she normally does. So I feel like she's getting more comfortable that, oh, whatever this weird thing this doctor is doing to
Hmm.
me makes me feel better. And, I feel like she's associating that it's good. And right after the session, she started playing ball and
Oh, good.
hopping in the air. And Dr. Sarah was like, "That's so good for her core. I'm so happy to see it." So it's so fun to have like a team,
Mm.
that you kind of put together to keep your dog healthy. I mean, there's just different stages of life require different
Hmm.
things. When she was 7, then that was lots of big long walks and hikes and running and exercise and core and lots of training, lots of focus training and
Hmm.
mental stimulation, and all of that is still true, but it's just a different level when they're a senior.
So those first times, like I'm trying to imagine how Suki would do with getting needles inside of her. Do you kind of have to strap her down, like
Well, we distract
torture?
her. Yeah,
Okay.
luckily distraction works well for her, so we're not like strapping her to the
Right,
chair.
right. Like here,
But
you're
but I
strapped.
mean,
You're not
I'm not
going
saying we're
anywhere. You know?
above doing that, but yeah.
Right.
So there are a couple points when she puts a needle in that Suki like,
Yeah, jolts.
whips around it. She's
Yeah.
not a biter, luckily, so it's not a huge risk that she would like do a quick turnaround and bite her.
Right.
But she throws, it's almost worse because she throws like evil side eye, like,
Mm. How would you
the
let them do this to
look,
me?
the looks that kill.
Yeah.
It's harsher than a bite. Judgment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
Yoshi's got a little bit of that too,
oh
you know?
sure. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. So I think it's on places like she'll do her, I'm just gonna call it her wrist, whatever.
Hmm. Right.
Um, or her elbow. So those are, when she does her back, I'm like, can you really even get the needle in her? She has that
Hmm.
giant thick coat. Like, is it even stuck into her, or is it just in her fur? But those a couple of points are a little sensitive for her, but it's really great for um honestly though, I don't really know everything she does or why she does it.
Right.
I leave that in her very capable hands. So
She's
but
probably
yeah,
spent
she
10,000 hours studying and researching it
so
and
much.
clinics and doing it herself and, the whole thing. So there's a rhyme to the reason in any
Yeah.
medicine that, why you do the things that you do. What I found fascinating, especially with acupuncture, is like you can put a needle in someone's toe and that could help the
Mm,
brain. Or you can put a needle in a lower back and that's going to affect, the arm.
digestion.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, right. There's so many and the whole kind of philosophy behind it is really interesting, and your chi and keeping a flow
Hmm.
of energy, and Suki's mood does seem lighter, and then also she takes like a really nice long nap after. So, and she puts about 10 needles. She lays her on one side and does 10 needles. And I thought, oh, we'd probably do one side and then switch over. We don't. We just pick a side each time. And she said, even though the needles are on this side, that doesn't mean they're not affecting her whole system or affecting her. We're not just treating one half of her by putting
Hmm.
needles in the one side. So I think that goes along with what you're saying. It's not necessarily the point that the needle goes in that is
Hmm.
treating.
Hmm.
So her walking is better. She was before the appointment, she was going down a hill and kind of dragging her back paws just a little bit.
Mm.
And so it was really great to have the treatment scheduled at that time, knowing she's going to get a little help with that.
And have you done acupuncture yourself? Do you have any
Oh,
experience?
yeah, I did. I did about 8 sessions, and um, I mean, I found it really interesting, but I don't know if I found it super effective for myself. Like with Gabby, there was no question.
Hmm.
It wasn't like, oh, we tried 5 things, so we don't know which worked. It was we tried acupuncture and she was better. So we kept at it. So I really believe in it. But maybe whatever I was going for wasn't quite it. I have like nerve pain damage, and so
Hmm.
I don't know if
It's not a quick
maybe.
fix.
Yeah, yeah. So I tried it, and
Right.
I stuck it out to see, like, okay, well, maybe you don't really see results after 1 to 2 sessions. Maybe I should give it a full 8 weeks, and
Hmm.
I did, and I didn't see any improvement, so I didn't continue.
Mm.
But I still advocate for it for other people. I think it's really cool.
And how did you do with the needles? Was it, were you nervous the first time? Was it not a big deal? Do you do
Um,
well with shots? Because I don't personally.
right. Boy, I'm medium good. I don't have a phobia, but it's not like I'm welcoming.
Right.
You know, sign me
Okay.
up for more shots and
Yeah,
needles.
right,
Yeah,
right. Bring
that's
it
not.
on.
Yeah, right, right. So, I, had the same questions. I bet they answer a billion times a day. Like, is it gonna hurt? And what even is this and stuff?
Hmm.
And so, were you kind of scared, apprehensive when you first
Shoot,
tried it?
when I was starting out, I mean, yeah, it's like, all right, I'm about to get some needles in me. You feel like you're gonna get stabbed, but at
Mm.
the same time, too, kind of like when I go into the dentist or if I go to the doctor, I put my headphones in and I look the other way. Like, all right, do what you gotta
Yeah.
do. All I want to feel is the prick. I don't want to see blood going out of my body, or I don't want to
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
anything like that. But with acupuncture, for the most times when I've done it, I've been face down on a table and
Oh, right, because it's your back. Right,
yeah,
right,
so
right.
so they're doing all up and down my back. I mean, they're doing my heels, they're doing my feet, they're doing like my arm, like everything, every part of my body is getting a needle in it, all the way up until the back of my head. I'm getting needles up into the back of my head as
Wow.
well. And when I was starting out, it was definitely something new, But I'm so obsessed with Asian culture and,
Mm.
Japanese history and, Chinese history and all these different remedies. And I love how there's a purpose to everything that they do. So I'll give something a shot, especially with something like Eastern medicine to see if it can help me with something like a chronic back issue or this leg fatigue as an athlete that I was experiencing at the time. And I did many different sessions. Can I say it healed me 100%? No. And still to this day, I do have a back tightness that's always
Mm.
there. However, though, it took years, but I've come such a long way from the point I was in back in the beginning of 2018, where I actually physically had to step away. And, some
Wow.
people would call it retirement, but I was so young that it was like, I mean, how can you retire when you're shoot, how old was I then? Like 20, 22 years old, like real young,
Like a gymnast or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, my prime back when I
Yeah.
was 15,
Yeah.
16, they
I'm
did
way
me
past
dirty
my
back
prime. I'm
then.
22.
Yeah. 22 retired vet, I got war
Yeah.
stories to tell. Um but I like the piece of it. Like here, I'm here right
Yeah.
now. I'm not going to be on my phone. I'm just
Mm.
listening to music. I'm here to just relax and have body work get done on me. And I feel like there's a lot of benefit in that. There's a lot of positivity in that as well too. So acupuncture,
It's like a spa experience in that
yeah, it's
sense where
it's
you,
it's Zen, right? You
yeah, it's
just
Zen,
breathe, just
right?
breathe. Let this take over here. Like you're mentioning, everything is related to each other. The chi, the flow, the energy. The biggest thing when it comes to Eastern medicine from all the doctors that I worked with is it's all about circulation. The blood needs to circulate around the body in all the different areas. And this pain that you have is that there's blockages happening in these
Mm.
different areas, and the blood is not circulating properly to that area. So
To
what we're going
heal
to
it.
do, right, is we're going to go and open this up here and we're going to open those channels so that this chi and so that this blood flow can circulate properly in your body, and that's where you'll get your mobility from, the soreness and what. So acupuncture I found really good. Also, what I can attest to is heat is really important
Mm.
when it comes to Eastern medicine. So almost every time that I would do it, I would have some sort of a heat lamp on my back as well,
Oh,
in
wow.
conjunction with the needles that
To
were
just heat
happening.
up the needles,
Yeah, just like the needles would get hot,
hot
they go
metal right in
on,
your back.
hot on my back. A whole lot of blood, hot flow is
Yeah,
is
yeah,
going
yeah.
on, right? And that makes sense, especially when it comes to science. When you heat something up, the atoms are moving around, right? We can get into this in a little bit, but when it comes to cold therapy, like if you have swelling and they tell you to ice it, that's going to take your
Yeah.
atoms and compact them together, which goes against, that type of philosophy. But the needles were good, the heat was good. What I liked even more than acupuncture, and it makes you look like a crazy octopus, is cupping. Have you ever
Oh
tried
my
cupping
gosh.
before?
Not me, but Rick has.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. The marks afterwards.
Oh yeah. It literally looks like you got attacked by an octopus every time you walk out of there.
Tentacle marks all over
Oh,
you.
they're
Yeah.
everywhere. They're brutal. There's just these purple circles all over your back or wherever
Yeah.
you get them from. So I'd be interested to see what Rick has to say about his experience with cupping. But cupping I loved, even though it made me look like a freakazoid. I loved cupping. That was just like a real good feeling. And it's almost like they would light it with a lighter, get it hot, and then stick it on your back. And the next one they'd light and
Whoa.
then hot, like stick it on your back like that. Now here's one up for you. This was
Yeah.
the best sensation, sliding cupping. So imagine you put a
Okay.
cup on your back and you've got like some type of, like oil on your back and sliding it around, but it's like an octopus that's stuck on you. And that feeling all along my back alone was like one of the best massages
Like a
you're ever
massage. I'm
feeling.
trying to, is it a massage type feeling? What is it Does
it
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 pull at you?
it really is a massage type feeling, and the biggest thing is eventually, when enough air gets through, it's gonna pop off. But when they get it to that point where it's real firm and real solid, and it's sliding around your back, as far as all the pain I was feeling, that would really help a lot.
Oh,
So
wow.
sliding cupping was a big fan of, and also E-stem. I'm not sure if you know what E-stems are,
No.
but these are essentially like cords and cables. It looks like an electric circuit, and you stick these patches on your back. And
Oh,
what
like
they,
tens?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah, I
yes.
do know what
And
that
so
is.
what they do
Yeah,
is a ba 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 ba, and
yeah.
that type of jolting, I found was really good too for circulation around the body. So
Rick has a ten. We'll have to have him on as a guest.
yes,
He has a tens system as well that he got. He was running marathons and used it for recovery, and he even has these gloves, and so
hmm
you have the tens hooked up, and it makes like your fingers jump. I mean, he
oh
has all
yeah,
these involuntary movements depending on how high you
right.
turn it up and stuff, and it's just so funny to see like parts of his body just jerking for,
hmm
a few
Yeah.
minutes. And yeah.
Uh, uh. And you just gotta let it happen. You
Right.
sit
Yeah.
there and
He's
let it
totally
flex like a
relaxed. And
fish.
it just, yeah. Yeah.
So I was mentioning recently, I've been so obsessed with tennis. That's like my new thing. I want to play it
Mm,
all. I'm competing now, twice a week.
cool.
Doubles, also playing singles as well. Well, I played like 7 days in a row last week, and I found
Ooh.
someone to play with every night. And by the time I got to my match, I played Monday night this week. By the time I got to my match on Tuesday, my wrist had given out. It was painful to hit the ball, and it was kind of that pain sensation where I was feeling it in my wrist and also my shoulder, where almost like a pitcher, where you
Mm.
have to have a pitch count because you can't overuse
Yeah.
your
Yes.
arm
Right.
in a lot of sports. There's a fine line between grinding and working hard at it, but also giving your body enough rest so that you don't compromise it and then keep playing on it day in and day out. So it's only going to get worse and you're going to
So it
set
develops
set
an
yourself farther
injury.
back. Right.
Mm.
So I was feeling it in my shoulder from just maybe it's the serving and the forehand and the
You were
backhand.
just acing them over and
Just
over.
bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, you know what? I played last night. I got through the match or Tuesday night, and I was like, you know what? I can't play for the rest of the week. I got to cancel all
Oh, man.
plans and let's get some recovery here. So
Smart.
this coach that I talked to sent me this product on Amazon. So I'll go ahead and shout it out. It's by a company called Belifu, Belifu, and it's a dual channel TENS EMS unit with 24 modes for muscle stimulator for pain relief therapy. It's got an electronic pulse massager for muscle massager with 10 pads. It's dust proof, drawstring storage bag, and it's got fastening cable ties. So what I plan to do with this, I think it came in the mail today, is I'm gonna try that out on my shoulder and I'm gonna
Mm.
try that out on my wrist. It looks like a real good product. It's only $36, so that could
Oh, that's
save you on a
nice.
lot of,
Wow.
type visits, especially, when it comes to the world of health, like I'll do acupuncture every day if you let me, but if it's X amount per session, I got a
Yeah.
budget that I'm working with
Right.
here, right? I
Sure.
can't dump everything into my health every day, which I would of course love to do. But
Yeah. Yeah.
with something like these remedies, like a foam roller you can use at home, or this e-stem technology, I'm just gonna try, chilling on the couch at night, put it on my wrist, get some circulation there, put it on my shoulder, get some
Great
circulation there as
idea.
well too, and try to get some of that recovery and relief in the meantime. So that when I go back to the court or back to the sport I'm trying to play, my body will be better prepared for it. But it's amazing. Like animals are the same way too. Like I always hold my breath every time Yoshi's jumping out of the car on the ground because I had a Frenchie owner tell me one time, yeah, be careful. They jump off the bed and their legs are going to go every time they jump off it. So I really try to grab them a lot of the time and set them down on the ground because I'm just
Yeah.
looking out for their joints, and it's the same thing like us too. We can get overuse injuries and like Suki as well too. You've seen her as well with her back legs.
Yeah.
Inevitably, the human body and a dog's body or a cat's body is going to break down at some point. So
Yeah.
putting these recovery strategies and these remedies in place helps us be, the best we can be, and it gets us back out there essentially.
Yeah, and that's when in the fall, I would say that we were in a recovery mode, and now things have progressed to where we're in a rebuild. And so one of the other things, let me just see if I have it right here. Um, so the acupuncturist told us about, oh yes, good, a muscle rebuilding supplement. Again,
Mm,
just shouting it out. It's by VIRBAC, Verbac, and they have um, a scientific breakthrough in canine muscle support. It's Ursulix or Ursulix or something,
hmm
and they have. She said, I recommend it to my patients that have senior dogs or agility dogs, which is funny
mm.
because Suki's a
They're
former
like
agility
athletes,
dog.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Athletes. So, and she said it works differently from all the joint stuff, the glucosamine and the chondroitin.
MSM,
She said, what'd you say?
CB, well, MSM, M as in Mary, S as in Sam, M as in
Mm,
Mary. That's a supplement out there I see all over the place. And of course, CBD for joint
well,
support as well too.
yeah, yeah. Shout out the CBD for joint support. Absolutely. So yeah, we've done things for joint support for Suki, but she has some muscle loss. Both her vet and Dr. Sarah have noticed that and remarked on it. So she said she's doing so well. I feel like she's at the point we can add this and she said it takes 2 to 3 months to see results. There's like some
Wow.
cellular rebuilding or I don't know. But I'm excited to try something new, especially heading into the spring and summer when we go to the ocean. I just would love to give her well, I've been focused on, support and having her feel good. Now I just would love to get a little bit more strength in there. And I think because we did some of this work helping her, helping support her system, it's gotten her to a point where she actually can try something to build more muscle back up. So that's really exciting to me with a dog who's 14 and a half. I was like,
Mm,
sometimes you get to a point with your dog's healthcare that really you're just trying to make them comfortable.
hmm
And this is more than that, so that's exciting to me that I feel we've set her up in a good way.
I love that. I love that you're trying all these different things too. It really shows how much that you care about Suki and making sure that she's feeling well, especially in these later stages of life. But let's go. She's still doing strong, still getting out there.
Yeah,
You can't keep her off the court. She's gonna get back on there. Let's
that's
go.
right. That's right. We'll be sending you agility videos this summer
Okay,
again.
let's go.
But yeah,
Hey.
she really she loves a good nap, but she is still really quite an active
Mhm.
gal. So, and it's funny because Rick and I laugh like, do we have an acupuncturist that comes to the
Right,
house?
right,
No,
right, 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 right,
only for the queen,
right,
only for the queen. We're eating like ramen
right,
so that we
right,
can
right,
afford her
right.
acupuncture.
Right. Yeah, we got to set aside a budget here for us podcast all-stars. We got to make
Yeah,
sure, we got to make sure our posture's good. Got to make sure the
right.
jaw's good for when we're speaking, as well too. It's a process, okay? It's a
Yes,
process, right?
jaw massage. Yeah,
Yeah, greatness doesn't happen overnight, okay?
right. That's it. It's built. It's built bit by bit, block by
So,
block.
So I was interested as well as what you're talking about as far as cells go. Here's
Mm.
another one, stem cell therapy.
Mm.
This is a big one I've heard about. I even heard about, I was listening to a podcast one time with Joe Rogan and Mel Gibson, and he was talking about either himself or his dad that went down to Panama and had stem cells injection in the shoulder that was never able to come, and it was like night and day, life-changing experience. I know there are some form of practices with it here in the United States, things like PRP. I had that one time. It's a plasma replacement, um, plasma replacement remedy type thing.
I
But I
see.
want to shout this out. So I'm typing into our virtual assistant here.
Yeah.
What is the concept of stem cell therapy? Stem cell therapy is a type of regenerative medicine that uses stem cells to repair, replace, or regenerate damaged tissues or organs in the body. Stem cells are unique cells that can self-renew, make more copies of themselves, can differentiate, turn into specialized cells like muscle, nerve, or blood cells. There are several types. Embryonic stem cells can become almost any cell type. Adult stem cells found in bone marrow, fat tissues. Inducted pluripotent stem cells, iPSCs. Adult cells reprogrammed to act like embryonic stem cells. Core concept of stem cell therapy. The idea is simple. Harvest stem cells from the patient or a donor, process or concentrate them, inject or implant them into damaged tissue. The cells replace damaged cells, stimulate repair, reduce inflammation, release growth factors that promote healing. And I mean, this is some pretty, high-end stuff that we're talking about here. The best
Yeah,
athletes in the world will go to doctors that can perform this type stuff. It's very expensive that we're talking about as well, too.
sure.
But if you want to talk about something that's miraculous, that could, change the trajectory of someone's recovery timeline and what they're going through, I've heard some pretty amazing things about stem cell therapy.
Wow. That's incredible. I mean, I remember it back from Christopher Reeve and
Yes,
how
yeah.
it was able to restore, you know, his functionality. And I mean, that's incredible. I know that there's different, I don't know, philosophies on it, but I think it's great. I mean,
Hmm.
I think that research is incredible. And it also like pulls up a like a semi-gory image of like, oh, we're gonna find like young athletes and like take their blood and
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
vampire
Oh
some
yeah.
young
Oh
athletes or
yeah.
something.
South Park did a whole skit on
Yes,
that when it
that's
came to
exactly the
the
craft.
babies. Yeah. Hilarious but
Yes. I'm a
disgusting at the
huge
same
South Park
time.
fan. I
Oh, me
love
too.
South Park. Okay,
They
awesome,
kill it.
awesome.
Everything they do, they kill. It's
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're so
right.
current with it. Actually I was watching a
Always.
doc on them that they literally make their episodes on
You
like a,
know,
s- a Sunday night and air them on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
I don't
I
know how
can't
their
believe that.
animators deal with that. I think it's brilliant and also very smart strategy as far as not giving the network enough time to censor them very much.
Right, right,
So, and at this point they're like, okay, how bad can it get? It's they've
right,
already done everything.
right.
So, you know, they kind of give them more free license and I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite show of all time, I would say. It's just
Yeah.
I love the satire and I think it's brilliant how far they go. It just kills you. Just
I agree. It's at the top of the charts for me as well too. I even watched
that's great.
it's hard to keep up because they take a lot of hiatuses in between seasons.
Yes. And then
And
they do like four episodes or
right, right. They just like
yeah.
release them all at
I'm
once.
just glad we're still getting episodes after all this time.
Me
I'm
too.
grateful. Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too. Which is understandable because they've been at it since like 98 or something
Oh
like
my God.
that. They've been
Right.
doing it forever, just, year in and year out. But for me, yeah, South Park is number one. And then you probably put Family Guy number two
Yeah, love
underneath
Family
that,
Guy. Yep.
depending on what you like. But for me, it's like a South Park all day, every day. No
We've been
question about it.
rewatching season 7 of Family Guy, and I haven't watched the old ones in a while. And it's just so funny how far they go. We were like, wow, that joke. Oh my God. It's so funny. And it's old enough that it does that weird like letterbox thing on your
Right,
TV.
right,
It's
right.
not sized right. It's so
Right, right.
funny. So
And when you
those are pretty old.
And when you get older, you kind of pick up on the jokes that kind of flew over your head
Yeah,
when you were
yeah,
younger
for
as
sure.
well too.
Yeah.
God, what movie was like that recently we were watching? It might have been like gosh, I don't have it off the top of my head here. But Shrek.
Okay.
Shrek has some like edgy,
Yes,
like, you know what
for
I
the
mean?
adults that are
Yeah,
watching,
for the
which is
adults
so
that are
great. Yeah.
watching. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't like as I was watching it as a kid, I had no idea
Of
like
course not. No,
the
right over your
the
head.
boundaries they were testing. But hilarious, absolutely
Yeah, I
hilarious.
love that. I love that because parents have to hear the same movie if it's their kid's favorite movie
Over and
endlessly,
over again.
endlessly, endlessly. Oh my God. So if they have anything for the older audience, then it's like, thank you. Thank you for that. Not that I
Uh,
have human kids, but I do have
right,
friends with them and
right.
They
right.
feel that way for sure. They're
Like,
like, if I
you're
hear
gonna watch the
Caillou
same
one more
thing
time,
over
yeah,
and over. It doesn't take much. It's like you, Yoshi. All I need is a tennis ball, and you're happy
yeah,
as a clam. You
yeah.
know, you just are obsessed. Like it's so easy to entertain you.
Well,
I
what
can
about this puzzle or this other toy ball? But
ball,
I bought this new thing ball.
ball, and I he is flat on his side right now, out cold. Right, I did my job this morning. I promise you,
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
go in there and I open the fridge and he hears a bag crack, he will jump up and come follow me. And he will sit down and he has practiced and trained how to look helpless and innocent.
Of
Just,
course. Big
yeah.
eyes,
And like the leg is kind of like hanging out at the bottom on the floor. It's just, wow. You are
nice
so
and
deprived.
pathetic.
Yeah. Man, it must be rough over here in this
So
apartment
rough.
life that you have.
Yeah. I mean, he never gets fed unless he puts on a show,
No,
clearly.
no.
Yeah.
It's not like I fed you, this morning, full scoop of bowl,
That was so long ago.
Never
You
enough.
don't, yeah, it
It's never
doesn't count.
enough. No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
never
never.
enough. It's all about right here, right now. What have you done for me lately? And when I
That's
mean
right.
lately, I mean 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. That's so true. We will find that Suki does that thing that kids do where you go to one parent. If they say no, you go to
Oh
the other
yeah.
parent.
Oh
So
yeah.
he'll feed her
She's
in
just
another room,
feasting on
and then
Rick.
she'll come up to me like, I never got my dinner. And I know not to believe her. I know
hmm
not to. I ask him. I just
Good
fed
cop,
her.
bad cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Rick's like, you just got it from your mother. What are you talking about here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no,
Exactly.
I did. I thought you loved me.
And she
But I
does this whole
do.
like sweet. Yeah. Exactly. She does this whole sweet like pathetic thing, like you were saying, Yoshi does.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we call her on it, she gives up and walks away. Like she just
Yeah.
drops the act.
hmm
Fine. I'll get
Uh,
you next time. It'll
so,
work. It'll work again.
so here's a good one for you. I pulled up to grandma's house this week and I
Aw.
thought it was one of the dogs running out of the house. Giant, giant coyote just trotting right out of the house.
Out of
And
the house.
like like
Like out
uh
of the yard.
like the driveway, basically like I open the driveway and here comes big coyote. But he wasn't inside the driveway. He was right on the outskirts of it, in the street. But they're everywhere here. They're everywhere
Oh,
here. And we're just talking like wild wolves that just run around. And if you listen at night, you can hear them howl like and laugh like hyenas, as they
whoa.
get together. And for me, it's just fascinating the evolution of the wolf, like the coyote. They're not going to look sweet and nice in order to get some food. They're
Yeah.
going to take what they want. But here we have these Shiba Inus and these French bulldogs that have perfected human connection, so they know how to get what they want. And a lot of that comes from who can look the cutest to
Yes.
get what they want.
Yes. And it's like I think they've actually done studies in the muscles around their eyes in
hmm
dogs and wolves don't have as many because dogs have some to make that wide-eyed, doe-eyed expression. And wolves, they figured us out in ancient times. They figured us out. They figured out, oh, if we act a certain way, these humans are going to throw their scraps on the ground. We don't have to
Right,
go hunt,
right.
and then okay, I'll sit like a good boy if that
hmm
means he'll,
Yeah, if that
so
means, yeah, yeah.
yeah, if that means
Sure.
that. I mean, it's a little less effort for me than like killing you for it. So
Yeah.
I guess I guess we'll go this way.
So
They're
you
the
really,
master manipulators.
so you really don't love me? Is it really all about the food?
No, but yeah.
But yeah. Hey, it's a little give and take. It's a little give
Yes,
and take,
right.
right? A little give
I
and take.
love that you give me food.
Yeah. I love that about you.
Yeah, I love that about you.
Uh,
That's great.
all right, so
But
here.
what did you do? Because Yoshi's so sized, he's sized like prey. I mean, him running to your mom's door would be like, come catch me. I mean, I don't know. It just scares me.
So he's a tough cat when it comes to the moment of truth. Like I've seen him take out a real vicious side to him, and I've seen him fight with the bigger dogs, so I know he has
Uh-huh.
it in him. I think he'd be able to protect himself to an extent, but that would be a one-on-one.
Ah,
If there's, multiple coyotes, that's not a good thing. Also you'll hear stories out here in Arizona of how coyotes are hopping fences at night and they're taking little dogs out of a backyard
oh,
and going away with them. And this is nature that we're talking about.
you're right,
That
right.
coyote's
But
got to
that's, oh,
eat,
how
right? But
horrible.
for you living here, it's one of those natural dangers that you got to be careful, especially at night, leaving your pet outside, when
Unattended.
it
Yeah.
unattended, when it's dark. That's and
I've seen those coyote vests and collars. They have like spikes on them. It's like a
mhm.
deterrent of them grabbing the dog.
That's a pretty good idea. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
I've seen some
porcupine,
California, some people that hike their dogs in California have them wear it because they said, you know, my
like a
dog will be,
Bowser.
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
just locked and loaded, right? Go ahead, try me.
a whole turtle
See,
armor with spikes on it. Yeah,
see
try
how this feels in the back of
little
your head.
chihuahua with like turtle armor. Yeah, they said, there's so many bushes and things that you can't, even though you can see the trail, you don't really have true visibility. And if your dog goes to investigate something and there's a coyote there or mountain lion or whatever
Hmm.
is out there, so they have some kind of protective measures. And so the dogs look super cool and super badass with
Hmm.
these like
Hmm.
spikes everywhere.
With the snowboard goggles on too.
Yeah, yeah,
Pets have come a long way here.
yeah,
You know,
right.
let a little human imagination get in the mix. We've come a long way from medieval times.
That's right. That's right.
Now I got Yoshi hitting his toy. Feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me.
Of course. That reminds me, your story reminds me of when my sister came to our house and she almost let a wild fox in our door because she thought
Mm.
Suki had
Oh,
gotten
it's
loose.
cute. Oh, oh, it's cute. I thought we could let
Yeah,
it
it's
in.
cute. No, she was like, "Oh, oh, Suki got out," because she really, I mean, she does now, but back in the day, she really looked like a fox, and so it was so funny. She kind of she was like, "Oh, I couldn't corral her." She really tried to like get her to come in the driveway, and so then she came in the house all worried, and then Suki's standing right there. And if it had worked, she would have brought a fox. And yeah, wait a
Wait,
second.
you're
I
not
just saw
Sookie.
you. Wait a
What? How did you get here?
Yeah. Meanwhile, the fox is going, wreaking havoc
Oh shoot,
on my
yeah.
parents' furniture.
Yeah. Hopefully it's, fantastic, Mr. Fox. It's got some etiquette, with the bow
Ah,
tie
yeah.
and,
Mm,
the pipe and
debonair.
the English glass
Yeah,
on as
the
well too.
monocle.
Yeah. The monocle. Yeah. I'm not sure, but that's what they made it seem like in the
I
movies.
hope
I thought
that's
I
the
could let him
cover
into the
image
house.
of our episode this this
I think so.
week.
Yeah. Here you go. Give me like 2 minutes after this episode. I'm gonna send me a picture of Suki. I'll take a
Okay.
picture of Yoshi, and our virtual assistant will make us. I need the correct spelling of what this is as well too.
Okay.
But I want a pipe. I want that, and it's where I'm gonna have a poster for you in no time.
Perfect. Yes,
Use it
done.
as a phone background. Use it as a
Love it.
screensaver. Print it out. Put it on the wall. Doesn't matter. It's gonna look phenomenal.
I'll put it on her Insta for sure,
Let's go.
and maybe blow up a huge version. We'll see.
Hey, we got to be etiquette over here. We got to have some class.
That's right.
The money doesn't come easy, Yoshi. You got to play the part, okay?
Yes,
All right,
that's right.
Erica.
Would he actually ever wear something like a hat or
I could probably put it on him. We did the Uncle Sam for 4th of July this year, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll sit here for another treat." Make it quick though.
make
But
it quick? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um,
Well, that's
But
good.
yeah, well, that's it's a lot of, especially with English culture too. You see a lot of those English bulldog pictures,
Yes.
with their like wearing it
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Oh my God,
Or
that was
yeah,
the best English bulldog impression.
yeah. I had one for 15 years. I mean,
Oh, right, right, right.
they just and it's all and the teeth are always overlapped outside of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
front of the mouth, and yeah, again, it's all about the food.
Oh, sure.
But
Yeah.
I've seen a ton of those where that they're wearing the suit, the vest, and they've got that in the eye
Oh,
with the
that's so
hat, and
cute.
it's awesome. I really
That's
like
great.
that.
I love playing into that old English Victorian
Hmm. Hmm.
era. I am now thinking of a costume for Sookie. She has this fluffy neck that almost is like a neck roll, which
Uh-huh.
reminds me of those Elizabethan collars
Uh-huh.
that like the old English would wear. They
Love
had
it.
these like roughly white collars. So I feel like if she's in the right dress, her neck
Yeah.
would do the work,
Yeah.
and that would be pretty fun.
Yeah. We can have a Sherlock Holmes party.
Yes, let's
Just
do it.
give it some time. All right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
they can solve some mysteries for the right
All
price.
right.
You know. They
Sherlock and Watson,
yeah, uh-huh. Suki and Yoshi go to, go solve some mysteries out here
the case
in
of
the
the
pet
missing
world.
bones.
Yeah. Case of missing bones. Uh-huh. Totally up their realm, right?
Yeah, that's great. Let's do it.
All right, so Erica, let's transition here to Lunar New Year,
Mm,
and let's get some details and info for those out there. February's been a great month so far. We had Super Bowl, we had Valentine's Day.
yeah.
We were talking about some of the experiences that we had as well, and now we're on here this week to Lunar New Year. So let's give you guys a quick breakdown here. Lunar New Year marks the beginning of the new year based on the lunar calendar and is one of the most important celebrations across East and Southeast Asia, including China, Vietnam, Korea, and other regions. Why it's significant. New beginnings. It symbolizes a fresh start, a time to leave behind bad luck, and welcome prosperity, health, and happiness for the year ahead. Family and reunion. It's the most important family holiday of the year. Millions travel home for reunion dinners, honoring parents, grandparents, and ancestors. Cultural traditions. Common traditions include cleaning homes to sweep away bad luck,
Mm,
decorating with red lanterns and banners. Red represents good fortune, giving red envelopes with money for blessings and prosperity. I'll take one of those.
yes,
Li-
please.
Lion and dragon dances for good luck. Zodiac cycle. Each year corresponds to one of 12 zodiac animals. 2026 is the year of the horse, symbolizing energy, independence, and drive. Spiritual and ancestral respect. Many families make offerings to ancestors and honoring heritage and seeking blessings for the year ahead. Um, I love
Love
it.
it. I love the
Yeah,
Asian culture and how meaningful it all is. For if we Americanized it, it would just be about the envelopes of money.
right,
That
right.
would be the only thing. But the lion dances are so fun and cool. Whether they're dogs in costume or if they have those they're almost like a row of people in the costume
hmm
with holding sticks and
Yeah.
make doing it's so neat. It's so cool.
That would be like a dream to go there one day and to see, some of these festivities happen live
Yes.
and just knowing the fact that like everyone's checked out of work, so they're in it for the holiday and just fully embracing it.
I
And
love that reunion idea. I didn't know that
yeah,
was part of it. That's really great. And bringing it back to family and, take time out of your life, stop your life. We're all busy. Stop your life. Come do this. Come celebrate. Come have the tradition you've had your whole life with the people that the people who've known you the whole time that you go way back with. And it's been referenced as Chinese New Year as well, in case anyone's curious, like, is that the same thing? It is the same thing. I think they're just opening up the umbrella of, who celebrates. They don't want to make it limiting. So I've heard Lunar New Year more than Chinese New Year, but it is the same holiday.
mm. I'm a history nut myself, so I remember especially when it comes to Asian culture, a big thing is respecting your elders. And the word that comes to my mind when I think of that is filial piety. So it's
Mm,
Filialpiety. And it's a moral principle that emphasizes respect, obedience, care, and devotion to one's parents and ancestors. The origins, the concept is central to Confucianism, founded by
mhm,
Confucius, and it's called Jiao. It's spelled with an X. I hope I'm saying that right. But the core ideas involve respecting parents and elders, caring for parents in old age, upholding family honor, performing ancestral rites,
mm,
obeying parents, especially in traditional societies as well. It's not just about behavior, it reflects a broader belief that family harmony is the foundation of social stability as well too. So I think especially when it comes to those cultures as well, we live in a society where independence
Hmm.
is so, grounded in what we do.
Hmm.
And there it's a lot of the group, the family, before you start thinking about yourself. Different
Yeah, very
and a
different.
different way to see things. But I
Hmm.
can tell just by reading on Lunar New Year that emphasis in that kind of ties in
Mm.
those old traditions and those values as well too.
I think it's so important to recognize your history and who came before you and who got you where you are. I love an independent person. I love a go-getter, but not at the expense of recognizing the importance of family.
Hmm.
It's really, like in one sense, does it matter where your family came from? But it does. It does.
Hmm.
It informs your life. So I think but yeah, it's a completely a cultural shift from I don't know, like you said, from this kind of independent-minded fly the coop and do your thing,
Hmm.
um, you know, f- g- move halfway across the country or I don't know. So I'm curious if people tend to stay near home or tend to come back and live at home to help their
Hmm.
older parents or 'cause that's one thing that happens a lot in American culture is that you've built a life somewhere that's different
Hmm.
from where your folks live. So I feel grateful I'm able to see my parents all the time and you get to see your mom. So
Hmm.
that's great.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah, I mean, she holds a dear place in my heart, like my best friend, and how much she's put into me, I want to help put into her as well too. And it's kind of amazing how the cycle works, but when we're babies, they're always, looking after us, but as they get older, then we kind of, take over that role as well too. And
Yeah.
it requires patience,
Mm.
it requires persistence as well too. And it all depends on who you are and what your relationship's like, but it's definitely something that I value as well too. We're all here for not the longest time, and we got to cherish those relationships, as well. I was watching a video recently on Instagram that talked about how the younger generation really underestimates the wisdom of the older generation. How there's so much experience that they have to share and can share with you, but maybe you overlook it because they're not tech savvy or
Yeah.
technical or don't understand what you have going on. But I think there's
It makes me
many.
think of okay, boomer, like,
Yeah,
you
right,
just kind
right,
of write off,
right,
oh,
right,
everything they have to say doesn't apply and they don't get it.
right. Yeah, I've been called an old soul before, but I really try to, like a sponge, absorb things and I'll ask questions, like, how would you have done it at my age? Or,
Mm,
looking back, what would you have done in my shoes? Or what are some key takeaways you can share with me? What's some lessons you learned along the way? And absorb that because they've been through it and they've experienced it. And it's probably going to be really similar to what you have going on. And even though the game you're playing now is different than the game they were playing back then, a lot of those same concepts translate in many different
right.
ways.
It is more relevant. And my mom has a kind of a funny saying about that where she said by the time that we die, we're going to be experts in everything.
Hmm.
So she's like, we now we know what we would have done or should have done or,
Right.
could have done differently. And now we're in that now we're experts, but now we're not able to go live that life. So it's
Hmm.
just kind of that's her sense of humor. So she'll say something like that frequently about, oh, we're
Right.
in our expert era. I mean, she didn't say expert
Right.
era.
Right. Right.
She's not Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
but
Right. I'm an expert here. You're lucky to
yeah.
listen. You flip it.
Yeah. But it's just kind of funny when she thinks about, giving advice to us or to her grandkids.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's
But yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of merit in hearing past experiences and stories and, you
hmm
can draw from it.
and they want to share too. They've got so much in the tank that you
Yeah.
can pick from. You just got to ask the right questions, with someone to really start to peel those layers back and get a lot of that knowledge passed your way. I think a fool thinks they know better than everything, right?
Mm.
I know better.
Hmm.
I don't need, I don't need your advice, or I don't need you to tell me how I should live my life or how I should do things. But if you're really trying to grow and if you're really trying to improve,
Yeah.
there's always something to learn and there's always things to take away from from people out there, and
And from different culture, people that
right.
have grown up a different way. I think it's a sign of maturity to
Hmm.
be able to be open to other people's experiences and then draw from it what you
Right.
feel will help
Take
you
with
or
it what
apply
you
to
want.
you. And
Right. Okay, so going forward here, the year of the horse in the Chinese zodiac is
can you
considered
do a horse? Can
yeah.
you do a horse impression? You get your Monty Python coconuts out.
Have you ever ridden a horse, Erica?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My dad is how I am into dogs. My dad is into horses.
Okay.
He
The
has a
the equine
special,
world.
yes, the equine world. He's the whisperer.
Mm,
So he used to shoe horses as a blacksmith way back in
wow.
the day. There's a super cool picture of him doing that. And he said the key to that is to distract the horse so that they don't even pay attention to what you're doing.
Wow.
Um, and then he has volunteered with the local shelter when they get a horse that's in their care, and he's gone in and helped the horse, acclimate to a life of, fun and relaxation. And he'll take them around in the paddy. He'll be like,
Mhm.
Erica, that's not at all right. Whatever it is. I don't have what he has. Unfortunately, I did
Okay.
not inherit the horse thing. I
Right.
love them. They're very cool, but they're so powerful and their
Yeah,
heads are
they
so
are.
huge. I get a little intimidated to be in their proximity. I'm like, I'll ride on your back
Yeah.
and you're in charge.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
feel in charge.
I will not stand 2 feet behind a horse
Oh,
staring at its ass because when that leg kicks out,
it's brutal.
good
Oh,
night.
so I watched a documentary the other day. There's a place in Delaware called Assateague Island or Maryland. It's like on the
Hmm.
border where wild horses live on
Oh
this
wow.
beach area. Yeah, and it's been protected, and it's so cool to watch them. What they do kind of like a minimal human interaction action and even minimal like vet care. They kind of let
Hmm.
nature take its course, and they were doing those kicks. I mean, and I think something
Yeah.
about their wild behavior. I just saw them doing so many kicks, and
Oh
whoa,
yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
rearing up. That
Oh
they're
gosh.
so powerful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So there's a place out here called Salt River, and we were going out one time and we were just looking everywhere for a wild horse. But there's stories of like Mustangs or, wild horses out
Cool.
here. And a lot of Scottsdale culture is wrapped up in horses. So I guess a
Oh,
lot of its origins came down to, horse riding and cowboy culture and,
uh-huh.
horse trade and all different stuff like that. So that's one aspect to it. The other aspect is there's a lot of native influence here as well when we're talking
Mm.
about like Native Americans and the different tribes out here and reservations and that type culture. And then you've got the energy aspect of everything like crystals. If you go to a place like Sedona, looking at nature and mountains and things like that. But yeah, the horse, bull, cowboy type influence is definitely alive
Is
and well
strong.
out here. Yeah. Not like New York
Cool.
City, you got ranches here, you got big open
Yeah.
land, little different. So, if that's your forte, then come check it out over here.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Kind of like Texas too, with the bull riding culture and it's
Yeah.
part of the history. That's
Rodeos.
yeah, rodeos. People were, out going out west. I can't fathom the fact that people traveled across the country in horses and
In a
wagons
wagon.
with
In a
no
covered wagon.
with not like on the I-10 with the perfectly, smoothed out,
Not the smoothest
highway.
ride.
No, not the
They might
smoothest
have
ride.
needed some acupuncture
Oh
along. They
my
they kept
God.
their acupuncture with them in the
Sheesh.
buggy.
So if you made it out here, you were the strongest of the strong.
Seriously,
Yeah.
if you survive that trip, wow.
Unbelievable. So have you seen this? I think it's on Paramount, or I'm pretty sure it's on Paramount. Have you seen 1883 or
Mm-mm. Is that like
1923?
a Yellowstone? I haven't
Yes,
watched those.
yeah. So it's the
Mm-mm.
it's the prequels to Yellowstone.
Okay.
But I really encourage watching the 1883 one. Amazing. Like I would love to go watch it again at any given time. One of my favorite historical type shows, but they really kind of show about how these people came from maybe it was like Fort Worth, Texas, and they're trying to make it out west And then,
Wow.
Yellowstone takes place in Montana. So to think about what it would be like to go from Texas to Montana by horse at that time it's unbelievable.
Seriously.
And it's, clash of, Europeans or, Americans at the time meet natives, and how does that whole sinking line, and,
Right.
the dangers and the wolves and the freezing temperatures and the
Yes.
the
Yeah.
t terrains that you're going through, and wow, like just to make it out that far is
Challenge
pretty
after challenge.
miraculous. Yeah. And then even before that, if you want to think, you can think about the Atlantic and how did you get from across the Atlantic to the Americas and land on Plymouth Rock,
Right.
Massachusetts, and the stories you hear about the ships they're on and how most people died. Like most people didn't make it along the
Yeah.
way, but they were willing to, give it a shot, and unbelievable.
And we have the Mayflower replica, the Mayflower 2 in Plymouth Harbor. It is not a big ship. I mean, as far as when you think that thing crossed
Right.
the Atlantic,
Yeesh.
and every so often they do take it out on the harbor. And whenever they do
Wow.
that, it's like every few years or I don't know, whatever it is. I think it's because it's required to be seaworthy.
Hmm.
And so they have to do like a certification or something. And it's just so neat to see it sailing around. It's surreal. You're kind of transported to you would love it. You
Wow.
would love it. Have you ever watched any of the big mast ships? What are those called? The tall ships?
I have not. No.
Oh, okay. That's very cool too. It's an experience. It's got, you know, um, and you can, and it's docked in the harbor and you can take tours and,
Hmm.
learn all about it. There's museums. There's anything you'd want to learn about pilgrims come to Plymouth and you'll find
Okay.
out
All
all
right.
about
Let's
it.
go. Let's
And
go.
then they've, also the Wampanoag, I think.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
might be
Yeah. Yeah.
mispronouncing that
Yeah.
name. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a tribe that they met and the Thanksgiving story
Hmm.
and it's now that we're in more modern times they're really including a lot of that history in with the pilgrim history. So it's not just one viewpoint.
Can you imagine being the natives and seeing these people land and what they're dressed like, and
How pale they look.
yeah, how pale they look, and they're coming across on this like big ship, and what a just shock,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
moment. It's like meeting an alien for the first time. You're
yes,
just seeing
yes,
something that you didn't even know existed,
for
but now
sure.
now you're catching up to speed real quick, and now here humans come together, and let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, I do love that they gave it a try. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
like to
For
and
a
to
little
try to
bit.
communicate with somebody that not only do you not speak the same language, you don't have the same reference to life whatsoever. So it's interesting.
Have you read the book Lord of the Flies?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, well, it's kind of like, for me, it's like Lord of the Flies too. It's like, watch what happens when humans are together on a deserted island.
yeah.
it may start off easygoing, but eventually survival starts to kick in, greed starts to kick in,
And weird group
resources
mentalities.
and group mentalities, and it's not always pleasant,
No, the
and
dynamics really
Mhm.
shift. And you think, oh, I would never,
Right.
you know. But historically that's not true.
Hmm.
People group together and there was one study where some kind of cognitive study where it was like you're in a room with five other people and they ask
Hmm.
you what's two plus two and their answer is all five
Hmm.
and how much it makes you
Mm.
doubt yourself and how long will you stick out saying
That's a
it's four.
great point.
Yeah, and it's obviously not something that simple, so it's
Right.
something that makes you like, wait,
Yeah.
am I
Right.
saying this? And they're all very adamant,
Monkey
and
see,
it,
monkey
it
do.
makes you want to join. It doesn't feel comfortable to be the odd person out.
I agree. I mean, that's such a good point. It's almost like, you yawn. If you yawn, I'm probably going to yawn too, right? That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that involuntary response. But it takes a lot of courage to be isolated with something that you believe is right or wrong, or standing up and saying it, when the whole group's flowing in that different direction. Just give it a little time, like an experiment. I was also going to note, let's say the pilgrims come from overseas. They're interacting with the natives as well too. They don't speak the same language, so that's extremely difficult in itself to come to some sort of agreement or some sort of peace. But let's say you have an agreement in place. You find that in a lot of these movies, what'll happen is there's one bad apple, and that
Mm,
one bad apple maybe goes and steals
hmm.
from someone, or the
And
one
creates a
bad apple
conflict.
creates a conflict, and then what happens in that conflict is someone, ends up getting killed, and then we know we got to protect that person, so now we got to stick up for our own. Now we're at
Yeah.
war. We couldn't
Now we're
figure it
us
out.
and them.
Yeah, now it's us versus them, right? We couldn't find some sort of resolve here and identify that that was just one bad apple. We're not all like that, but inevitably you hear a lot about those stories, and it leads to bloodshed, which is really unfortunate. Which is really unfortunate that one bad apple can lead that to something so important, like human beings coming together from so far away
Yeah.
and being able to work things out and being able to coexist with each other and utilize each other for their strengths. There's things that the
Yeah.
natives can teach the pilgrims, and there's things that
Sure.
the pilgrims can teach the natives as well. But you gotta be willing to work, and you gotta
Yeah.
be willing to explore that. And I find that in a lot of times in history, you see those in a lot of movies. It's almost like the Achilles heel, but there's always that one scene where
And then
someone
it
kind of ruins it
escalates.
and then it escalates, and
Yeah.
it's inevitable.
Yeah, I know this whole kind of go to war over things culture where it
Hmm.
has existed through humanity for a long time. And it's yeah, that whole something that I don't understand, I don't like,
Right.
rather than, oh, I don't understand something, I'm curious about it.
Hmm.
That's just two totally different approaches to it.
Or this is my way of doing things. This is how I
Yeah.
see it, and it should be that way for you, and you'll adopt that as well. And if you don't, here, suffer the
I'm gonna
consequences of
wrestle
that.
you into
Right,
submission
right, right.
to do it my way.
You will be a believer by the end of this.
Right, right.
Okay.
Well, I had a really pure interaction the other day. I feel like kids and dogs they are in the moment and they don't need language to get along. And it's sounds maybe a little cornball. I am a little cornball, so I will own that. We went the day my friend Jenny sent a kid's dance costume to Suki for Valentine's Day, and it fit her like a glove. It was so cute. It's like a stretchy costume. You can totally zone out during this. This is for
No,
some
no,
of our
no.
listeners who like
I'm
love
li-
love this part.
I'm
Um,
listening.
no, no, it's cool. So it's like a a tight bodice and then a fluffy tutu, and it fit her perfectly. The tutu didn't drag under her, so she could walk around. So we took her downtown to our state capitol building just to walk around, no agenda, because there's University of Wisconsin students around or
Mm,
tourists that visit, and we just have it's all these good feels. She calls attention, what
hmm.
your dog's wearing a dress. Oh my God. And then any chance we can meet her, especially all the students who have pets at home that they miss.
Right.
So, and Suki is so good. She's so good at meet and greets and being adored. She doesn't mind being adored.
Oh, that's awesome.
She will duck pets, which sometimes bothers me. I'm like, just let them pet you. But if we give her a little bribery, then
Right, right.
okay, sure, you
That's the
may.
exchange. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Go
Yeah, just
ahead. Go
wash your
ahead. Get a
hands
feel.
first. I don't want any city filth on my coat in my tutu. Um, so there was a little girl and visiting with her parents, and they hung out for a good 20 minutes. And the Suki and the kid just gradually got to know each other, and oh, you're gentle. Okay, I'm gentle too. So, and it was completely nonverbal. All four of us parents were just enamored. It was so sweet. Um, we gave the little girl a real small treat to try to give
Hmm.
Suki, and most kids would drop it after a couple seconds. She kept it in her hand, and Suki wouldn't take it. She was like, "That's not proper. I shouldn't
Mm,
take something out of a kid's hand." So we had to really coax her, "No, it's okay." And she took
mm,
it so gently. I mean, every moment was precious. And then we got this fabulous photo that I posted on Suki's Instagram. the girl had, with permission from the
Hmm.
parents, the girl had this like street style. She had these little New Balance sneaks and like painted jeans, and then she had a really cute sweater with a puffer coat, and then the puffer coat kind of fell off her shoulder. She's like 3 years old. Like she's
Yeah.
she's so
I
funny.
wonder who dressed her.
Yes, exactly. And then and they matched that her puffer coat was red like Sookie's dress. We were like, this isn't ridiculous. The two little models, the girl, 3 years old or something. I mean, I'm not great at
Right.
guesstimating ages,
Right.
but she was little. And she gave like an over the shoulder look with the jacket dropped on her arm. We were like, this
Oh
is
yeah. Yeah. Oh
this
yeah.
is
She
ridiculous what's
knows.
happening in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
Are we at a commercial shoot? What
Yeah.
is
Oh
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Both born
So
to be stars.
yes, exactly. They're just natural models, but they were just natural little best friends. And at one, we kept trying a few more things, like the treat. So
Hmm.
another thing we tried was I gave her mom Sookie's leash, and then we had the little girl hold it like, midway through and walk Sookie, and she felt like she was doing it herself. It was so precious to see how excited she got by that and how proud she was to be leading Sookie around. And I give Sookie a lot of props for being so good with kids. She had a big smile on her face. She was having a great time. And,
Amazing.
again, I know I keep saying it, but at 14 and a half, I didn't know if we'd be able to still do all these experiences, if she would be like, I don't feel so great, or I've done it for 10 minutes and I'm done, or, we do shorter sessions, but this whole thing of like going out in the public with your dog and meeting strangers and you kind of make someone's day. Um, the parents messaged us on Instagram and said that was the highlight of their trip to Madison.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Amazing.
really special.
Look,
Yeah.
look at the
So,
power you have. And the
right. And
power Suki has
it's
as
a
well,
power
too.
Sookie. Right. So we orchestrate the meet, we do a little like, would you like to meet us? Yes, we would
Hmm.
like to meet you. Could I film for socials? Are you comfortable?
Hmm.
And, we do this little
Hmm.
intro. But besides that, they take it, they take it from there. And when, when they got to a point where she was petting Sookie's head, they worked up to the being comfortable. And it was just nothing could be more precious. It
Hmm.
just makes me think of that when you're saying people trying to coexist or get along who aren't able to communicate with the same
Right.
language or even the same experiences. I feel like we can draw a lot from kids and dogs. They don't need all of that. And they also very just in the moment, very present.
It kind of gives you that sense of how important that childhood innocence is, but you don't have all those.
You're not weighed down.
Yeah, you're not
But
weighed
yeah.
down by life and all the experiences that come with it and all the biases that can come along with it, with how you're raised as well. And they're different than me, so I shouldn't. And then this is that, so I shouldn't. Like, you just embrace, kind of for what it is. And then that's really important because that kind of shows what's possible. And especially for leaders and,
Mm.
the older generation as well, they can take from that and kind of see that that's possible. But it takes humility and it takes working together, it takes being open, it takes listening, and it takes that, genuine interest and that genuine care in coming across people or animals or things that are different than you and kind of embracing that relationship. But Suki, for her to embrace such a little kid like that, and the kid as well too, is just it's like that's awesome. That's
It is,
awesome to see that
and
connection.
who knows what effect that has. Maybe now this kid develops more of a love for animals from
Right.
that, or just I don't know. I mean, I don't know where they were from. It was so funny. We didn't even exchange names because we were just
Hmm.
all into what was happening in front of us, and so I would have loved to find out more about them. And maybe I still will. I feel like she's going to go on Sookie's Christmas card list.
Oh, good.
If I can grab their address at some point, she's
You
got to get
gotta.
a holiday card from Sookie.
It's uh,
Um,
it's the power of connection and that exponential growth. You never know who you cross paths with, but she's got a fan for life there, and that
yeah.
little they better get a Shiba Inu. All right,
Yes.
they better get one eventually, and
Oh,
that's
but
gonna be a good life for the next Shiba.
that's the only thing that is maybe bad about all this stuff is that people think maybe that's how a Shiba comes. No, we did a lot of
Hmm.
work
That's a
to
lot of
get,
work.
that's a lot of work and also a lot of credit to Suki and her chill personality. And for example, a lot of people are warned don't hug dogs because they don't interpret a hug the way we do.
Hmm.
And kids have hugged her before and their parents are so scared. And I
Hmm.
said, it's totally fine, but maybe that's not a great learning experience for the kid that it's cool to hug dogs because most strange dogs will not welcome you being in their invading them that
Right.
like that. But Suki will take a hug. One time a little boy from Japan, he bowed at the waist and kissed her on top of her head.
Oh,
It
amazing.
was the cutest thing ever. We've had all these like
Amazing.
magical moments just being out and about in public or going to,
You must feel so proud too when
I
you,
do.
yeah, right?
I do. And her mom said to me something about us both being parents or both being moms. She recognized that in me. She recognized the effort I put into the experience and to
Hmm.
helping her daughter be comfortable. And there's a little bit of a division between dog moms and real moms or
Right,
dog
right.
parents and real parents. So that recognition meant a lot to me. And I told her that it really was, um, I take pride. I'm your co-host as the
Right?
dog mom of Suki, So yeah. So it's
Representing
kind
all
of
the
my whole
dog moms
identity.
out there, right?
I felt very validated, which was nice.
Got the seal of approval. Let's go.
Yes. As a
Let's go.
parent, I value education. I value physical wellness.
Got to say all the right buzzwords. Got to check
Right.
all those boxes.
That's right.
So I mean, just hearing that, I don't know to say I wish, but I hope Yoshi can come around to that. Um, Males and kids, for whatever
Hmm.
reason, he's got this predisposed, pet for a little bit, and then and I'm like,
It's a
why are you
little.
freaking out, But you got to be gentle with him.
Hmm.
Like, it's like anytime I have someone meet him, I get on a knee. We all get at the
Hmm.
same level. I put my, hand. I do this with dogs. I don't
Yeah,
grab
I do
them
too.
right
I do
away.
too.
I just, I
Yeah.
stick my hand out. Do you want to smell it? I come in peace. It's almost like, landing over here. I don't have a gun in my pocket. I'm not here to
Yes,
hurt you.
that's right.
Putting the
Did you
weapon
see
on the down.
Hitch?
Yeah, I've seen Hitch.
Okay, so the I come 90, you come 10. That's how
Hmm.
I feel about dogs. So I don't put it right up to their face. I
Hmm.
do like an invitation and then I
Right.
hold it there. So they
Right.
see so they can take their time and assess. And then if they don't go for it, then
That's
that's
it.
understood.
Yeah, that's
I
understood.
don't try to make it happen if it's not. And if somebody says I would rather you not, then I respect that. Like that should be okay. People should not take that as, oh, that's a bad dog or um, oh, that I'm offended that you said no to my interacting with your dog. Not every dog wants to
Right.
meet strange. Most don't. I mean, that's the
Right.
thing is that so we've had to tell people they're like, "Ooh, I want to get a Shiba after this," and we're like, "Well, we love the breed, but
Hmm.
but don't expect them to
But
be this like super
right.
social, friendly, you can do anything
Read the
dog." That's
manual. Battery sold separately, not
yes,
included. Perfect behavior. It takes 10 years of work to get to this
yes.
level. You're seeing a finished product here.
Yes, you're seeing a finished product. I love that.
You
That
know?
is exactly right.
I
That's so
mean,
funny.
but
And I don't like Yoshi, to Yoshi's credit. I mean, whatever it is that, gets him a little riled up. I mean, it's natural.
mhm.
So, as long as he's not like his first instinct is to hurt someone, then it's his nature. I mean, what are you going to do?
Well, and he knows it too. I say, hey, no, like that's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
And he kind of,
You kind of
does
like,
kind of go back. So,
ooh,
but he still like does it to where I kind of know that I don't know if he enjoys it, but he's kind of got that Napoleon-esque type syndrome to him. And he
yeah,
likes being security and he kind of likes sometimes saying, back off, back off, back
yeah.
off. Just kind of, like what dogs are. But
Hmm.
if a female goes to pet him, I would say it's the percentage is much lower for him kind of lashing out like that.
That is
Kids
so
though, for whatever
funny.
reason, maybe it's because they're, drunk stumbling up to him and just grab him, not,
Yeah,
and he's like, no, 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 I'm not going for that. Like
right.
there's a procedure here, that's got to be in place. But yeah, I think a lot of people, they're just not proper in how they approach animals. You
Mm,
can't just run up to it and grab it. That's going to set a dog off. And I've seen it happen so many times
I
before.
know.
So when I'm approaching, I've got the hand out, like you're saying, the 90-10 rule, kind of slowly. And that also gives me the opportunity that if that dog goes to bite my hand, I'm going to pull it away
You're safe.
quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm not going all the way in and having a
Yeah,
bite happen. That could get real, real bad.
yeah,
I get real close to Tucker's face, the German Shepherd that we have, and I
yeah.
kiss his nose, and he kind of sits there and he looks up at me. But at any given moment, he could, and he has the power to set off, and that could be something real dangerous. But I trust the bond that we have,
Sure.
and he's
Yeah.
and he's a big sweetie. But it doesn't mean that they don't have it, stored deep inside of them. Any dog does. So I think the biggest word it comes down to is respect. You got to respect
Respect.
a pet's space. You got to approach them with respect, and you got to come from it from that sense. And they sense that as well too. That you're
They
not
do. They absolutely do.
disrespecting my space and approaching me very brashly, or just like aggressively going to pet me. Like it's a slow first initial interaction. Okay, now we're building that trust here. Then it kind of
Hmm.
comes into the pets, then it can come into the scratches. Okay, now
Yeah.
I know your smell, I know you guys are friends,
Yeah.
you guys trust each other, so I trust you as well too.
Yes.
Let's all be friends now, but that
That
screening
is the
process
progression.
has to
And
happen.
sometimes they'll offer like, okay, here's my booty because I like booty
Right,
scratches.
right. Yeah,
You
you like
know,
that one too? Yeah, yeah.
get in there, human.
If you know me, that's what I like.
Right.
Oh man.
Exactly. I think what you said about getting down to their level, that's been so successful. If you get down to their level, and then the less challenging you can be, like you said, going right in their space or thrusting out your hand,
Right.
just be slow and gentle. Maybe have your body turned slightly to the side. So the more comfortable you can make the dog, and then let them come to you a little bit. So and then something I've learned, I like to do a top of the head pet,
Hmm.
but again, that's a little threatening. So
Right.
it's better to approach under the chin first. But I'm like, that's right by their mouth if they want to bite me. But it really does work better as a first, and then maybe you can work up to the head. But to start there is seems like a lot of dogs take that aggressively, especially the little
Right.
guys who are always getting, you know, bumped around.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's those pets too, where like as soon as Yoshi's walking by them or a dog, like you don't even know who he is. You just don't like him, right
He's just
away.
posting up.
And then,
What? What?
yeah, yeah, and then the owners are like, "Oh, like I'm sorry,"
Yeah, yeah, right.
but are you?
But yeah, are you though?
Yeah, and I kind of just like keep walking. But yeah, I mean, not every dog is going to be the friendliest dog, and I'm sure the dogs are really sweet with the owners at home when they're one on one. But it is that social experiment, where chrome meets chrome, iron meets iron. How's it going to go each time? You don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag,
Well, and you
and
said are they at home? Maybe they're a little more protective, or maybe when they're
right.
on
What's the
leash, they don't.
environment?
Yeah, yeah.
And like how are you approaching a pet as well too, and all of that, they're energy readers,
Hmm.
they're sniffers, they're smellers, they read body language, they read body movements.
When
um
she doesn't trust someone, I very
right.
many times she's been right on the nose. And I'm
Amazing,
real naive.
amazing.
I'm
Right,
like, oh,
right,
everyone's great. And so
right,
she's like,
right,
not
right.
that one, mom.
Yeah, you got the instincts out for you.
Yeah, this a guy came up to us. Nothing really bad happened, but he started yelling at us really aggressively. But before that, she reacted to him when
Hmm.
seemingly to me there was nothing indicating that he was feeling unbalanced that day.
Right.
So she gave us a little warning, and he didn't like that. that she did that, and then he
Hmm.
really exploded. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shoot,
Yeah.
good job, Suki. I mean,
Yeah.
so when you're like, stop it, calm down. I I definitely think that's a good thing when he's like just greeting somebody. But
Hmm.
I also have learned to kind of listen. Like there might be a pretty good reason that
Hmm.
she's pretty cool with most people and dogs. So if she's not, but also she's so judgmental, it could just be like it could be for superficial reason.
You, unfortunately, you have not passed Suki's vibe check.
Yeah, yes, that's the
Try
vibe.
back next week. We're accepting Oakland applications in the meantime.
Change your life and then come. You can try again.
I love it though. I mean, there are natural protectors. You know,
Yeah.
they're looking out for us. We're looking out for them as well too. And we need to look out for them based on how people treat them and also how they're interacting with people as well too. All right, Erica, I think this is a good time to cut the episode here.
All right.
No,
This was so fun.
No Zen Friends products to get into today. No, ingredients to get into. We'll be getting into a ton of that for you guys here in the near future. We also have guests coming up as well on the Zen Friends podcast. A lot of business owners out there and people in the pet industry that want to get their stories told. So we will be having those teed up for you guys in the near future here. But for the focal point, for what we talked about, pet therapy, wellness for pets, human things that you can try for your pets as well. Erica and I definitely encourage you guys to explore some of those stuff out there. Suki has now lived until 14 and a half years old. Amazing, athlete, training, agility dog that's still going strong at this age. And Yoshi, only 5 years old here too, but we're definitely going to crack in some of those wellness aspects here as he and Daddy become pro tennis players over here.
That's right. Maybe he'll need his own little
Yeah.
10 system and
Oh
his little
yeah.
paw will jump.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ball is life. All right. We got to make sure he's loose and we got to make sure he's limber.
That's
Uh,
right.
and
That's right.
it's never enough. It's all about the next toss. The one
Yes.
before was never good enough, and neither was the treat either too.
And you
We're
can take those tight turns and grab it on the fly and yeah.
we also
Not
want
miss anything.
No, no beat skip. We also want to wish a happy Lunar New Year to all of our Zen friends out there as well here too. We got to learn about the year of the horse today and the significance behind it, new beginnings, family and reunion, cultural traditions, the zodiac cycle, also the spiritual and ancestral respect that dates back to filial piety in the time of Confucius as well here on the podcast too, and how to approach animals. What's the right way to go about it in different social settings? And hearing about, how Suki has come such a long way and is a pro at letting people pet her. And that was an amazing story. I love to hear that today, Erica.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, it was really truly I love to share her. She's special and I love to be out there just for no agenda. I
Right.
mean, it'd be cool if we had one if there's like, a cause to help support or something. But we do these Shiba meetups where we walk down State Street every spring and fall. And it's just such a spectacle. It takes us forever to get down the road because we're stopping so many times. And really, it's just to go on a walk and interact with people. And it's good socialization for the dogs. And some people come for just a little while because their
Hmm.
dogs, can't really handle that a long time. There can be crowds or a lot of noise, but you know, we have group members that kind of handle it differently. Some lag back, some are in the front.
Hmm.
Um, and Suki is always the one that just, she's just calm and whatever the whole time. Pretty secure in herself. So, whatever happens, she seems fine with it.
That's our legendary princess over there. That
Yeah.
coat is thick and fluffy, and that love is thick and fluffy as well. That she's got
Oh, that's so sweet.
out there
And I want
making
to,
people's days.
yes, that's right. And I want to shout out her holistic vet here, Dr. Sarah at Anshen. It's Anshen, Holistic Care in Madison, Wisconsin. So if we are developing some listeners here, I like to shout out some of our local businesses. Like we had Lindsay on from Dogma.
Dogma.
Yeah. So Madison's a cool place to have a dog. We have a lot of options out here.
we gotta. Well, I know you go to Massachusetts in the summertime, but for us, the summertime would be a cool time to go check out Wisconsin, or maybe the fall as well too. We
Yeah,
can we can coordinate something.
that'd be
Yoshi,
great.
you got to get those frequent road trip or
Yeah,
miles,
frequent flyer
frequent
miles.
flyer miles, stocked up here. Let's go. There's things
Let's
to
go.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
He
Lakes,
should have like a
mountain.
little state passport that shows all the different states that he's
Mm-hmm.
visited or something. That'd be so
Stamp,
cute.
stamp,
Yeah, get the
stamp,
stamps.
stamp, stamp. Let's
And my
go.
mom was a tour guide at our state capitol building, and she knows
Oh.
every trivia tidbit that you would. Where did that marble get imported from? Oh, she knows, she knows, she knows. So it's the state capitol is it's a really beautiful building. It
I've
is.
seen it. I say I
Oh,
was
okay.
I was I was on a sales trip in 2020 back when the mask and the COVID was
Mm.
happening, but I drove from New York to LA via Pittsburgh. After Pittsburgh was Cleveland, then Detroit, South Bend, Indiana, then Chicago, and then after Chicago, I'm pretty sure I made it over to Wisconsin, and Madison was the
Oh,
big
a
one
whole
to go to.
Midwestern.
A whole Midwestern, and I was surprised how far Minneapolis was from Madison. I
Yeah,
thought
like
I thought
5 hours,
it
five and a half.
was it was far to get up
Yeah.
there. And after Minneapolis
Oh
was Des
yeah.
Moines.
Oh
Oh
yeah. It's pretty
yeah.
far.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Don't you
little
know?
ice, don't you know? A little ice, some maple syrup, yeah. Yeah, so and then I went from Minneapolis to Des Moines, Iowa, and then after Des Moines, Iowa, I pretty sure was Oklahoma City to Dallas, Dallas to Albuquerque, Albuquerque to Phoenix, Phoenix to LA. So
Oof.
real long trip there.
How
But
many
Matt,
days did you do that over?
shoot, I think I got that done in maybe like a week or so. Yeah,
Nice. Wow.
I wasn't spending too long, Airbnb being along the way.
Hmm.
But Madison was a real cool town. I love, the whole boutique vibe there. There was a lot of animal independent businesses there. The state capitol was real cool to see, and that whole Badger, University of Wisconsin vibe. That was real neat too.
Yes, growing up here, I thought that's how every college town was, where everybody wears the colors and
Hmm.
all the students sport the gear. Where I came out to Massachusetts and they're like, that's so uncool. We don't wear our, UMass whatever or our Boston College, and like people don't
Yeah,
generally
that
it
that's
in
because
Wisconsin we're
their
like it's
teams are
Badgers
kind
and
of lame,
Packers. Yeah, it was so lame. So lame. Rick would make fun of me about it. I was like, that's just how we are. That's how we
Yeah.
are.
But
Everyone's into it.
they love to support their Patriots because the
That's
Patriots are
true.
winners, and they're Celtic. Boston's got a real good sports town. I'm jealous. I'm jealous myself.
Yeah, it is a good sports town. It is a good sports town.
All right. Well, hey, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Zen Friends podcast. Thank you so much, Erika Nowlan, for joining in today as well, and guest Sukiyaki Shiba getting to make an appearance on
Yeah.
this episode. Love to see. We'll be working on new episodes that we have for you guys this year. Make sure to go to zenfriends.com this week. We have a code FRIENDS15 that you can use out there for 15%. We're also looking into something such as National Love Your Pet Day that is
Aw.
coming up in the pipeline here that we have too. So we'll be making sure to have an awesome promos for you guys here. But we want to wish a special shout out to the Lunar New Year, wishing you all a happy new year with new energy and everything that we talked about for the year of the horse.
Prosperity,
Prosperity.
good health,
It's your year,
family.
guys. Go out there and go get it, and go get it with your pets as well too. Let's get Zen.
Grab some red envelopes full of cash.
I want red envelopes full of cash. If Yoshi, can you give me a red envelope full of cash, and this treat exchange is going to go a
Yeah,
whole
the
lot
treat
better
exchange.
here.
Exactly. Yeah, precisely.
All right, well, catch you guys on the next one. Take care.
All right. Thanks, friends.
See ya.